Hello friends, welcome to Learning Chemistry. So today we will talk about the selenium oxide oxidation. So let's start our topic. So you know that selenium oxide performs various types of oxidation process. So among them we are going to talk about two of them. First of which is oxidation of the active methylene group, and second is the allylic oxidation of alkene. So let's first just try to learn at first how selenium oxide structure is look like. So in most mechanism the selenium oxide will be used as this type of structure, but actually selenium dioxide exists in a polymerate infinite structure like this. Actually you can also take consideration of this structure also, you can perform mechanism, but for the simplicity of our purpose we will use this type of this structure in for the mechanistic purpose. So now let's try to learn that how oxidation of active methylene group takes place in presence of selenium oxide. So this is called a relay oxidation, which is a name reaction. Okay, so where you can see that the acetone is oxidized in presence of acetate in presence of acetic acid, and temperature is around 100 to 140. So then the active methylene group, which is you know that there is a hydrogen which is a ionizable hydrogen, and which is also ionizable just because due to the electron withdrawing ability of this carbonyl. So that be due to this active methylene hydrogen, so that can be easily oxidized in presence of selenium, and there will be a C double bond O will be formed. So now we will try to learn what is the reaction mechanism. So if I am taking acetone in this case, so you know that acetone have alpha hydrogen which have a counter enol form. So I am writing this. So this is a enol, so this is a keto form. So although keto form is more stable, but some percentage of this keto form will be exist as a enol. Okay, so now what happens, there is a selenium oxide as a reagent. So this lone pair of the oxygen comes here, this attacks at the selenium, this oxygen get pushes back, so you get this. Now there is a protonation occurs at this oxygen, electronegative oxygen O minus, and this oxygen just releases its proton because oxygen try to release proton from that. Okay, one thing, this selenium, the oxygen state in the selenium oxide is +4. Okay, so now what happens, so you can you can understand that the selenium is very electronegative because it is in the oxygen group. Okay, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, so it is electronegative than carbon, and this is also due to this reason this hydrogen is very much acidic. Okay, so now what happens in the reaction medium, you know that there is a acetic acid was in the reaction medium, so there will be a counter acetate ion also in the reaction medium. So that's just take up this proton, this bond goes here, and this is selenium double bond oxygen bond cleaves. So we get and there is also protonation will occur at this OH. Now after that there will be a hydrolysis occurs in presence of acetic acid because that is a proton source. So this double bond will be cleaved. So finally we will get this as our product. So the what is necessary for this oxidation, which is a acidic hydrogen, and you can also say the active methylene group, okay, that can perform conjugation with its neighboring functional group. Okay, that is the main aspect, you have to find that. So there are some examples I have chosen. So this is a diester. So here you know that there is a 2 hydrogen which is very much acidic and activated by this ester group, because that can undergo this carbon ion if there is hydrogen can be abstracted by any base, and it is also doubly activated by this ester group. So by the previous mechanism you get the product. which is this kind of product you will get out of that. And now here again, once again, there is only one hydrogen will be there, one side of hydrogen there will be a ionizable hydrogen which can conjugation with this can form a enol. Okay, so that will just oxidizes and form the 1,2-diketo structure, 1,2-diketo product. So this is our product. So let's get back to this example where you can see that the cyclohexanone always have this alpha hydrogen is very much acidic due to this type of conjugation. So you will get product as this as a product, but you sometimes you get product. So here is one thing is that due to severe dipolar repulsion, so this system try to minimize its repulsion between this oxygen pole. Okay, so they actually exist as one of the ketone exists as the enol. The advantage is that they can form the internal hydrogen within themselves, and also there is a conjugation. So system is more stabilized than this form. So actually they exist as this form. Okay, and for MCQ there could be answer like this. Okay, so now here what is this hydrogen also is activated by conjugation with 2 phenyl groups. So there is also oxidation possible. So you get benzophenone. Okay, so very simple, straightforward reaction. And next is a similar type of really oxidation is also occurs for alkyne. So reaction mechanism I am not showing because this is less important, but still I am showing that just you have to just create 2 C double bond O at the 2 sp hybridized center, so you get our product. But here is one thing, you have to use a trace amount of H2SO4, very little. Okay, so then you will get the corresponding diketo from the alkyne. So next, the most important from the selenium oxide oxidation is the allylic hydroxylation. So what is the meaning by allylic hydroxylation? This means the allylic selenium dioxide actually oxidizes the allylic hydrogen to a allylic alcohol. Selenium dioxide performs this type of oxidation for the allylic hydrogen. So you can see that here is a alkene we have given, a substitute alkene. So what happens, these have 3 types of allylic hydrogen. One is that here is another types of alpha hydrogen, this is another types of alpha hydrogen. So but only this alpha hydrogen is oxidized and get a allylic alcohol. So this is very selective in this case also. So here is a few things you have to keep in mind, that in the most of the cases there will be a E alcohol, actually allylic, most precisely if you say E allylic alcohol will be formed, or sometimes there will also E ketone or aldehyde also formed, because some reason I will talk about later how the aldehydes are formed from this alcohol. So you have to always remember that the E stereochemistry will be preferred and will be selectively produced for more than 90% cases. Okay, as you have to produce a E alcohol, so if you then oxidize this allylic hydrogen. Okay, so second thing is that more substituted side of alkene will be oxidized. Okay, and the third thing is this, the ease of oxidation will be methylene greater than methyl greater than methylene. The CH2 protons will be much more faster, will oxidize much more faster than methyl and then CH proton. Okay, so you can find a lot of videos in YouTube where they are explaining all these reasons, but they are not explaining why this is happening. why the E-alcohol selectivity is there, and why the more substrate site of C double bond C, that is alkene, is oxidized. Why this is occurring? So nobody, I have checked that nobody explains this, but this is very simple explanation is there. Okay, so during the mechanistic study I will explain to you why this is happening. Okay, so let's move on to the mechanism of this allylic hydroxylation. So you are given this type of alkene. In presence of selenium oxide and acetic acid medium. So what are the rules? That the E-alcohol will be formed and at the more substrate site. Okay, there are the two things. So how mechanistically I can prove that E-alcohol is selectively proved and more substrate site. Okay, so let's start. I am first writing the general mechanism. After that I will explain the stereoselectivity. So there is, you can ask that why you are taking this allylic hydrogen. There are also two types of alpha allylic hydrogen is there, but I am explaining that to you later why E-allylic hydrogen is extracted as prior to the other allylic hydrogen as preference. Okay, so let's just at first consider that. So at first what happens, in reaction is occurs, which is a type of pericyclic reaction. So what happens, at first selenium oxygen is captures this allylic hydrogen, this double bond pushes back and this attacks the selenium. So what we get? So we get selenium here, there is one selenium oxygen double bond is there and one OH is there, and there is CH3, and there is one hydrogen is already there and another CH2 CH3. First step is in reaction. Then second step is 2,3 sigmatopic shift. So during this reaction what happens, this bond pair, actually this hydrogen leaves as H plus, so this O minus actually attacks here, this goes here and this actually comes on the selenium. Okay, so what you get, so why this is 2,3 sigmatopic shift? Because the bonds which are breaking, you have to start naming from that. So this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 1, so this is 2. So bond forming at the end of 3 and 2, so this is called as and bond breaking for 1 and 1, so this is called as 2,3 sigmatopic shift. Okay, so what we get after the reaction, so there is a methyl, so there is hydrogen, there is ethyl, I am writing at once ethyl, so there is a double bond is returned to its original position, and there is O and selenium and O, and there is a plus. Okay, sorry, there is ox, you have to write this properly. So this is this. Okay, so after that in the hydrolysis in the acetic acid medium, so this selenium oxygen bond actually cleaves, so you get as a product this allylic alcohol as your major product. This is the overall simplistic mechanism for the allylic hydroxylation of selenium for the alkene. So nextly I will explain to you why this is, so why this is E selectivity is there and why the reaction is carried out on the less substrate side, sorry, more substrate side, which is this. So let's do that. So this reaction carried out, you know that in reaction, if you studied the in reaction. The in reaction is performed by 6-member cyclic TS, cyclic transition state. Okay, so I have to write this structure as a cyclic chair conformation. So how can we write? So this is a double bond, this is another 1-methyl, this is CH2, and there is a hydrogen is here which is to be abstracted during the in reaction, and there is an ethyl, and there is a hydrogen, and there is a selenium, and there is oxygen, there is another oxygen. So you know what happens. At first this bond attacks here, this goes here, and this comes here. So you know that this is a typical in reaction. So let's just first write it. So double bond comes here, ethyl is there, hydrogen is there, this is now bond selenium OH, and this is now this. Okay, so after that you know that this is becomes O minus by the releasing of proton. So this minus attacks again here, this again gets into this position, and this clips. So you get this allylic alcohol. Sorry, after that there is a selenium ester is there, there will be plus. So there is ethyl and there is hydrogen. So after the hydrolysis you actually get the allylic alcohol. And if you closely look at this structure, this is the E-allylic alcohol. Okay, so what will happen if you try to produce the Z-allylic alcohol? So let's try to do that. I will just write the transition state. So hydrogen is captured during the in reaction. That was happening when the ethyl group is anti to that. So in this case I will write ethyl group on the same direction. Here. So now there is hydrogen, there is selenium, there is also another one. So you know that typically again reaction goes through there, goes here, this comes here, and after that consecutive steps you will get this as your product, which is a Z alcohol. So that actually the answer lies in the transition state structure. So what you can see that this is a cyclic TS, so there will be intermediary transition state. So the ethyl here is in the equatorial position, but into this transition state the ethyl group is in the axial position, so that can have severe steric repulsion with this hydrogen which is in the axial position also. Okay, so due to this reason this transition state is less stable than this transition state, because there is also this one of the hydrogen will be in the axial position, but there is hydrogen, so there is no steric repulsion, but here is a strong steric repulsion because ethyl group is much more size than this simple hydrogen. Okay, so due to this reason you get almost exclusively E alcohol out of that, not the Z alcohol. Okay, so this is a reason why actually the E alcohol E selectivity is coming. In the YouTube you cannot find any video on the why the E selectivity is occurring. This is actually important from CSIR net candidates because you have to know the mechanism at least. Okay, so after that you can answer the questions in the form of rules. So you should know if you are preparing for CSIR net or GATE. what is this transition state structure, what is the mechanism actual. Now again, with the help of this transition state, I can also explain why the oxidation is always carrying out at the less substrate structure, why not at the other end, because at the other end there is also an allylic proton, but why always oxidation is carried out at this side, not on this side. So that we can also explain by this type of cyclic TS. So let's try to write that. So again I am writing this double bond like this. So if I have to get this allylic alcohol to the hydroxylated, I have to write this like this, and this is CH2 actually, and in this side there will be two methyls. So one of the methyl have to be in an axial position. Now there is selenium, there is oxygen, there is double bond oxygen. So here is also the remaining CH3 can be in an axial position. So rest of the part is that you can get here, either say gets here, and after the successive steps you can get this type of alcohol. Okay, but here we can obviously see that if this methyl group is in axial position, so that will have a severe repulsion with this axial methyl. Okay, so in that case, that this transition state is severely destabilized, and then you can again argue that this carbon have a sp3 hybridization, so it can rotate itself and it doesn't push the methyl group at the axial position. So in any case, if I will consider that the methyl group is in the equatorial position, which is this, so in any case there will be at least a hydrogen is there. So that hydrogen is actually involved in the steric effect somewhat with this methyl. Okay, so minute destabilization is important and shifted the reaction towards the previous what I explained, towards this transition state where there is no such interactions. So in this case, so that is why this product is not formed. Okay, so this is the reason, that is at the less substrate side the reaction doesn't occur. So here is a isolated double bonds here. So there is one double bond and here is another double bond. So you have to find what is the most substrate site. So now what happens, this terminal actually group, which is CH3 and CH3, are more prone to the oxidation. Okay, because this is the terminal one. So because substitution is here and here is same, but as this is in the terminal position, so these groups are more prone to the oxidation. Okay, so you know that there is a E selectivity is there. So to maintain the E selectivity, this allylic proton will be hydroxylated. So what will be the product? So then product will be this. Okay, so this is the product. So after that, here is another some examples where this type of alkene is again selected. For the following the rules, you always know that this is the more substrate site, so the oxidation will be carried out at this site. So where the CH2 or the CH3. So here you know that the ease of hydroxylation will be faster at CH2 than the CH3. So in spite of the E selectivity, the oxidation will be caused in this site. So you will get product at this site. Okay, so now in this case you know that this is the more substrate site, so hydroxylation will have to carry out at this site. So now what happens, there is CH2 and there is CH and there is CH2. So obviously this CH2 will be hydroxylated because CH2 is obviously here I have written. So it's hydroxylated and this is also supports the E selectivity. Okay, so hydroxylation will be at this site. Actually, in reality, what happens? Both types of allylic alcohols are formed, but there is a question of major and minor. So this is the major product actually. Other types of allylic alcohol always forms, here always forms, but this is the major product actually. So here you can simply understand that this is the more substrate double bond, so the oxidation has to carry out at this site, but you have to maintain always the E selectivity. So here the hydroxylation will be carried out. Okay, so now again there are few confusing examples I have set for this lecture. So here you can see that there is this type of allylic hydrogen, there is again this type of allylic hydrogen, and there is again this type of allylic hydrogen. So you know that this is the our more substrate site, so allylic hydrogen, allylic hydroxylation has to carry out at this site. But where? CH2 or CH3? You know that CH2 rate of hydroxylation at CH2 is much higher than CH3, so the hydroxylation will be carried out at the ring, which is CH2, not at this site. Okay, so this is the answer. Now again, here is a confusing part, is that you can first conclude that the reaction will be carried out either at this site or either at this site, because this is the more substrate part. But where? Because here is both case there is CH2. Now here is a rule you can keep your mind that the hydroxylation will always favored in the ring, not in the side chain. Okay, so hydroxylation will be carried out in the cyclohexane ring. So following this rule, this will be our major product. Okay, always I am saying that this is the major product. Other types of allylic alcohols always forms, but this is the major product. So now I am recapping the active methylene group oxidation of selenium dioxide again. So if you have watched my previous video on heterocyclic molecule, heterocyclic chemistry, there you know that these two substrate pyridines are, this proton is very much acidic. So this type of structure is present. So this proton is very much acidic. Okay, at least much more than the acetone hydrogen. So due to this reason, this hydrogen is active methylene hydrogen. So actually the oxidation will be occur and the product will be this. Carbonyl will be formed here. Okay, in the next question again, here you can see that this hydrogen is very much activated due to this conjugation with carbonyl and also the conjugation with the phenyl ring. Okay, so due to this reason, this hydrogen is active methylene hydrogen, and again can be oxidized by selenium oxide, and you can get a product which is diketo form. Sorry, there is a 5-member group, and after that KOH is given. Actually here what happens, the benzylic acid type rearrangement will be occur. Okay, so what happens during this rearrangement? That is very simple. If you know the benzylic acid rearrangement, you can easily understand by. So during the benzylic acid rearrangement, there is this type of portion will be there in the reactant. Okay, so you can understand easily. So at first what happens, OH minus, the base, attacks at this carbonyl center. So this actually pushes back, so you get this type of intermediate. So then what happens, this O minus actually pushes back to this carbon and this bond is migrated to the center, and this O minus again pushes back. So what you get, you can get a little bit confused by seeing this reaction mechanism, but if you know the benzylic rearrangement, then it will be very much easy to you. Okay, so if this is breaking, so this is attacking here, so this will become this is the benzene ring, this is the 5 member, so there is O minus, and there is a carbon with a acid group. Here will be the another 5 member ring with methyl. So then the protonation will be occur, and you will get actually the protonated form. So I am writing here the protonated, say OH. So this will be the actual product, and after that, if you heat for the prolonged time, this carboxylic acid may be get decarboxylated. Okay, because that negative charge will be stabilized by the methyl, by the benzene group. Okay, so this example is very important. So now I will explain one thing which is a very minor thing. What is that? During the selenium oxide hydroxylation at the allylic site, there is procedure. Sometimes you have seen that the product is written as a carbonyl, which is maybe aldehyde or ketone. The most of the time it is aldehyde. Okay, so actually sometimes if you carry out the oxidation for the prolonged time, or even there is always in the some minor amount carbonyl is formed during this reaction. So why this is some carbonyl is formed by this allylic hydroxylation? So that is I am going to explain. So at first what happens, the usual allylic hydroxylation will occur at first with the help of mechanism I have previously explained. Okay, so after that again a selenium oxide based oxidation again caused. So how this oxidation is causing? The double bond is here, and this is the, so another set of in reaction will be performed. Okay, there is a methyl, there will be the ethyl group, there is hydrogen, there is selenium, there is hydrogen, and the OH group which is here should be, I am placing that at the equatorial position. Okay, so that what happens, this picks up this proton, that goes here, and this goes here. So you will get this type of product, just like the previous, nothing much, but one step more reaction, a similar reaction. Okay, so this is occurred. Now like the previous, this H plus actually cleaves, so this O minus actually attacks here. Oh sorry, actually there is a O0, no, attacks here. So this again double bond comes here, this goes here. So you get ethyl hydrogen double bond methyl, and there is OH which was previously there, and now newly formed O selenium double bond O plus. Okay, so now after the acid workup or hydrolysis, whatever you say, so you get this type of thing. Now you know that in presence of acid, one of the alcohol will be protonated, and the lone pair of one of the alcohol group will be pushes back, this cleaves. So you end up with a alcohol which is also a E type, because this is forms from the E selectivity allylic alcohol. Okay, so this alcohol is also of E type. So this is how the carbonyl is forming due to the selenium oxide hydroxylation. Okay, so today's last example, which is if you treat this type of alkene with selenium oxide in presence of acetic anhydride, and acetic acid as a solvent. So what happens, you know that this is a monosaturated site. Now this is CH2, there is 2 hydrogen and this is CH. So obviously hydroxylation will be carried out at this site, and also this is in the ring. So what you get, but in presence of acetic anhydride this will be acylated. So actually this will be the product. You have to keep in mind the reagent very carefully. Okay, there is anhydride, so the forming OH group will be acylated. So this is the whole lecture on the selenium oxide based oxidation. So there is another types of selenium oxidation is taking place, which is selenium actually acts as a dehydrogenating agent. So that have a very vast topic, but that have very significantly less importance. But this 1,2-diketo forming reaction, the Rayleigh oxidation, and this allylic hydroxylation is very important with respect to this dehydrogenating reaction. So I am making video on this topic, but somewhere later I will make a video on this type of reactions of selenium oxide. Okay, so thank you. If you like our content, so subscribe our channel, and if you have any doubts or comments, comment is in the comment section. So thank you.